Let's go. 4 wins. Not easy wins. Okay. 8.0 KD. Shit. What is up, guys? We are back with another one. We're doing a Hunter PvP build, and it's brought to us by Ashy. Now, the thing about this build is it's specifically made for this week's Trials map. From what I could tell from the thumbnail and the title, it was just released today, so I'm assuming it's specifically made for this week's Trials map. We're going to check out his guide, see how he does, and then we'll check out the build and we'll review it. Let's get into it. Oh, that's some baby making music right there.
Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to be showing you the
Why is it so blurry?
PvP Hunter build in the game. Now, if you are struggling to go flawless in Trials or just struggling in PvP in general, this is the build to follow. Now, honestly, with this build, it's going to help you win so many more games, even if you are a bad player or a PvE player.
Why is the video quality so bad? That's not on mine. That's his video.
Struggling to get in PvP super fast. But if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, drop a like on today's video, and with that said, let's jump straight into it. So this is currently the build I am running. Now, it's a really good one. Now, I'm going to show you a few variants depending on what sort of player you are, because PvE builds are really good. PvP builds, it does depend on preference, a lot of it. So I'm going to be showing you sort of how you can change it up to your play.
It's interesting, he's running 97 intellect.
You 100% want to play Night Stalker with Spectral Blades if you're on Hunter. Gambler's Dodge, Strafe Jump, Snare Bomb, and Void Wall. You can change it up if you guys want Scatter.
Okay, real quick, I will say right off the bat, I love how he just gives you the build. This is exactly how I do my build guides. I just show you the build. That way, if you just want to screenshot it or just pause the video and copy it, whatever you want to do, and then just bounce, you can. You don't have to sit there and watch the whole 20-minute video. I love when people do this. I love this style. Again, the quality of the video is not on my end. I don't know what's going on with his video quality. Maybe just, you know, I don't know. I don't know how he's doing his recordings and things like that. But like I said, I do love the fact that he just gives you the build right off the bat. That is awesome.
Or Vortex, they do work really well. I just prefer Void Wall because you can get more off, but I would recommend Vortex or Scatter if you're not so good of a player. Aspects, these are pretty crucial. You want Vanishing Step and Trapper's Ambush for the Smoke Bomb, and Invisible. You pretty much want to be using both Invisibles as much as possible.
Hang on, real quick before I forget. It's interesting to me that he runs 100 intellect, and he said that it's very important that you use Spectral Blades for this build. Because in my experience, I never get my super. Even when I have 100 intellect, I hardly ever get my super during Trials. Like, to me, supers are just not that important in Trials. So I usually spec into Discipline instead of Intellect. That way I can be getting my grenades back super quick, you know. So just me, I just want to note that.
In today's build. For the fragments, this is where it gets interesting. It's going to depend on your build. Now, on PvP, what you want is a triple 100 if you guys can get. Now, if you're on Hunter, mobility is crucial.
That's PvP or PvE.
Sorry, is crucial, and intellect is also crucial. And as you can see, we are pretty close to that triple 100.
I agree with mobility and recovery,
but you can get away with it.
But
if you are in
I wouldn't run. I wouldn't spec an intellect.
For our fragments, we have plus 10 recovery on that, plus 10 intellect, and plus 10 mobility and intellect. So you can get your stats up pretty high with the Void. I'd recommend that. If you've already got a triple 100 and you guys don't need to, you can change these about. It's not going to be too much. Obviously, for PvP, it doesn't really matter that much. There's a few extra runs, like obviously melee final blows, grant grenade energy. It will help if you guys can run it. But if you need the stats, just put on, obviously, intellect, mobility, and all them sort of things.
So hang on. Am I getting this right? He's saying that he specifically chose this build, those fragments, just for their stat boost. Okay. Okay, look, I have to try the build out. I have to try it out. But that's one way to do a build. It's definitely one way.
Weapon wise, this is yet again going to depend on how you play. I'm going to give you 2 roles you guys can run that are going to be super good.
Okay.
Actually,
That also explains why he didn't go through and explain exactly why each aspect and fragment was like important to the build, and it makes sense now because he's. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's just using those fragments just for the stat boost.
dealing damage. So, first things first, if you're a hand cannon player like myself, the chaperone is insane. You need to get good with the chaperone.
Get
if
good
you
with the
play shotgun. Try the chaperone out. It's
pro
insane.
strats, baby.
And if you guys haven't seen my previous video on
That's
this hand
S tier advice
if you're
right there.
controller, make sure you are running this hand cannon. It's crazy, especially
Palindrome
with elemental capacitor, because we get that increased stability from our super, and then opening shot is really good. And look at the stats on this thing. It is pretty good. Now, one thing I see a lot of Crucible players mess up on is the heavy. Heavy is a crucial thing in trials. It can win you a free round. Make sure you have a good machine gun
it's
on.
not that
Machine
crucial.
guns are going to guarantee more kills than anything else. A rocket's kind of 50-50. A grenade launcher's 50-50. But a machine gun, you're always going to outgun your opponent.
I can't. Okay. So, like, the fact that he said, like, you need to be using Chaperone, you need to be using Palindrome, and you should be using a machine gun. Like, first off, don't tell me what weapons I need to run for a build to work. Okay? Especially in PvP. Because I've always said, like, the weapons don't make the player in PvP. The player makes the weapons. Use whatever weapons you are most comfortable with. Whatever you've used in the past where you've gone into PvP and wrecked with, use it again, man. Use it until it becomes a part of you. Like I just know this gun. Like I know PvP players, trials players that are using like 7 and 8 year old weapons they've been using since like day one because they're absolutely cracked with them, and they're like old ass like sunset weapons and shit. Like, they'll just use them. I don't know. They might have like gotten updated versions of them or something. You know what I mean? Like how they brought a lot of the sunset stuff back. I'm sure they must have in order to keep the light level up. But it's like guns that they're extremely comfortable with that they've been using for years. Those are the guns you want. Like, for example, I use Vex Mythoclast a lot. Why? Because I've been using it since Vanilla Destiny 1. I know that gun like the back of my hand. I am super comfortable with it, and I know I can wreck with it. So that's my thoughts on, don't ever tell people what weapons to use, especially in a PvP build.
Accurate. So definitely put that off. Now, I always recommend mobility, recovery, and intellect, especially for a trials build, because you need your super back super quickly.
No, you don't.
Supers win games in trials, which is
a
bit daft, but that's just how it goes. Now, for your holdfast helmet, or any helmet you guys do have, what you're going to want to run is an intellect mod, kinetic targeting. This is going to make your kinetic a lot more better. So, as you can see, aim.
Oh, guys, we're good on this. I don't think I need to watch the rest of this guide. First off, he says you need to put an intellect mod on and a kinetic mod, and you might not. You can hit 100 intellect without speccing into it. I have builds where I have 100. I think it's 100 resilience, and I don't need to spec into it at all. I can use all my things to spec into other things. And also, you might not be running kinetic weapon or an arc weapon, so why would you use those targetings? Like, this is I'm not even gonna finish this guide. This is a bad guide. It's bad advice. It's poor quality. It doesn't seem like a good build. If I can go flawless with this build, I will be surprised. So I'm gonna give the guide like a I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10, just because I like the fact that he did just give us our build right off the bat, so you could just stop the video right there and like, you know, go move about your day, which I would recommend doing, especially with this guy. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm being like a giant tool right now, and I'm not trying to be. Okay, so Ashley, if you see this video, I mean it. It's constructive criticism, right? I'm just this is just some friendly advice, just for future content. Some things that I would clean up. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and do the build and see how it works. All right, I do want to say real quick. I'm sorry, Ashy. The video quality did actually eventually even out to full HD. So I don't know if there was something on YouTube's end or maybe it was something on my end where it was just not buffering correctly. So apparently it was not Ashy's video. So I apologize. That's my fault. Alright guys, we are all set up and ready to go, I'm pretty sure. And oh yeah, this is the point I wanted to make. See, I have 109 intellect, and I'm not spec'd into intellect at all. So you can definitely hit these numbers without even having to spec into them.
To the trials of Osiris.
The fuck is this? Okay, I've never played this map. This is gonna be a real fucking problem.
It is just you. Fight until you have nothing left.
Let's go.
Very good.
Let's fucking go.
Only one enemy is left. The match is yours. Celebrate. I will join you. If something comes for our city, it will see you at the gates and know to turn back.
That shit was rough.
Only one enemy is left. It is just you now, friend. Fight until you have nothing left.
Fuck, I didn't even see that motherfucker.
Round is there. You can win.
Ah, suck!
Opponent.
I'm gonna grab hard light after this.
Only one enemy is left. Good.
Let's go.
Only one enemy is left. The match is yours. Celebrate. I will.
Let's go. 2-0, baby.
1 minute left, my friend. Only one enemy is left. Your ally is back in the fight. You have flattened your enemy. Very good. Destroy this tide. You are tied. It is time to make your mark. Only one enemy is left. I will join you.
3-0, baby. 3-0 somehow.
So long. 1 minute left, my friend. Only one enemy is left. You have flattened your enemy. Very good.
Switched my armor up so that I spec more into discipline instead of intellect because even with 100 intellect, after 4 matches, I still have not gotten my super. So it's literally like pointless, dude.
Only one enemy is left.
Good teams, baby. Let's go.
Yours. Only one enemy is left. The match is yours. Celebrate. I will
Let's get it, baby. Everybody's using that Redrick's gun. Like, it ain't even that good, bruh.
1 minute left, my friend. Guardian, it is you alone. Be brave. Only one enemy is left. Your ally is back in the fight. 30 seconds left. Yeah.
That's fucking good.
There's no one left.
That was rough. I had to get sweaty on that one.
Only one enemy is left. Your ally is back in the fight. Yes, you have done it. There is no one left.
Did I just team wipe? I did. I fucking team wiped.
Only one enemy is left. Opponent revived. 1 minute left, my friend. Your ally is back in the fight. Only one enemy is left. I love to watch you win.
I team wipe again? I did. Oh shit.
Turn this. Only one enemy is left.
Come on, boys, you got this. I have faith in you. 2v1. Nice. Let's go.
In the fight. The match is yours. Celebrate. I will join you. You mangled them. Ah, there is no
6 wins.
fight. Come, Guardian. Let's
One more, baby. Lego. Results. 11.0.
One minute left, my friend. Only one enemy is left. The match is yours. Celebrate. I will join you.
7 wins, baby. We're going to the lighthouse. Lego. Ooh, on a side note, I'm pretty sure this is the PvE god roll of Acious Care Adept. This has got to be the god roll for PvE, right? Slice and Hatchling, or I could do Slice and Collective Action. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the god roll, so pretty lucky with that drop right there. Alright, here we are. We're gonna do it. Let's see what we get. Oh my god. Just blew his load all over the place. Love it. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. I can't even hold any more enhancement prisms. Alright.
Easy.
I gotta wait. I gotta wait for Saint to shut the fuck up.
Fight, win, and fight again. This is your duty.
Are you done? Okay. All right. So overall, this is. I mean, it's an Invis Void Hunter build. Nothing special. It's hard to suck with a Invis Hunter. Like it's like the main class that a lot of hunters use for PvP. So pretty much, I feel like pretty much any hunter build you use is going to be
The wind has played tricks.
decent. Let me get out of here because Saint's gonna keep talking, I guess. So let me head to order real quick. This is making me lose my train of thoughts. So anyway, like I said, so any, I feel like any Invis Hunter build, any Void Hunter build is gonna be pretty good in PvP. It's hard to screw that up. But this is definitely a mid tier build. There's nothing special about this build. Didn't use my super not one time. Never even got it. I did. So we won 3 matches, lost 1, won 3 matches, lost again, and then won a match. So if the if the old cards were around, then we still would have went to the lighthouse. But it was a bit of a struggle. I got hard carried at times, and then there were other matches where I did some hard carrying. So it was, I definitely had to put on my sweatpants for this one. Whereas like last week, I feel like I kind of just walked through, like I just walked my way to flawless. The build was just so much better than this build that it just, last week it seemed easy, with that build. And this week it was like a struggle. Like this is not a build that I would use if I planned on carrying people for sure. So, I would say that I'll give this a 5 out of 10. It's mid. It's nothing special. I don't know. The exotic, it did help me clutch up a few times. There were a couple times where I was like 1v2, 1v3, and having that reload feature actually did come in handy. Which I was surprised because when I first saw the build, I was like, Dragon Shadow, really? But it did actually come in handy. So, I gotta bite my own words, eat my own words, whatever the saying is. But like I said, it's nothing special. It's an Invis Hunter build. It's hard to screw that up. I will say, Transfiguration did come in handy a lot, but my main weapon was Hard Light. I normally use Vex, but for a close quarter map like this, Hard Light was just so good, and I actually got quite a few kills using those ricochet rounds. I think the ricochet rounds do 100% more damage, right? I think that's it. I could be wrong about that. So I actually got quite a few kills using the ricochet rounds, just bouncing them down those hallways. And so it actually, and even close up, like, man, this gun just shreds through people. Like, it's going to be hard. There's very few guns that are going to outshoot Hard Light, even at close range. So it was perfect for this map. Like I said, I was struggling. I started out with Vex. I was struggling with it, switched to Hard Light. The nice thing about Hard Light with this build is I was able to use, I forget what they're called, the harmonic things. So harmonic targeting, harmonic loader, harmonic unflinching, all that stuff. So that made it super nice too. So yeah, like I said, it was mid. It's a mid build. For what it is, it's a Void Hunter build, guys. So nothing special about it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm the One Noisy. Bye bye.